Due to the Egypt and Israel peace accord, the UN supplied peacekeeping forces in the region. The UN also supplied the transportation to a contract airline, Aero Air. The artistic side of this video is done by myself. All their content is from my own physical archive. This is a true event. I would like to thank everyone I served with in B Company 360, Fort Lewis, Washington, 83 to 1986. It's very hard for me to go back on Memorial Day and 12 December of each year. I remember the Screaming Eagles of the 502nd Infantry, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. My unit replaced the 502nd on peacekeeping duty at South Camp Sinai, Egypt on 10 December 1985. I was one of 248 flown over from Fort Lewis, Washington 1 week prior to the departure of 248. On 11 December, the second plane of 248 from my unit joined us to be at full strength. The 502nd could now send back 248 back home for Christmas the same day. At 05:30 a.m. on 12 December 1985, this event happened at Gander Airport, Newfoundland, Canada. You have to understand that this was before the internet. We didn't get any news. We had to wait a week for this newspaper to come to our South Camp. USA Today with the international edition. I kept it after all these years. I read it every now and then. It's very hard sometimes. And you know you've seen all these faces. You maybe not know their names. But I do go over it once in a while. Then that left 248 behind from their unit that had to go back the next week. And that was very hard to watch them mourn as much as we did, for them more. Their unit had a professionalism that was a step above ours. We were a good unit, but I didn't quite understand. My unit knew we had to get on with what we had to get on with. Unfortunately, the Army didn't provide us sunglasses at that time in the 80s. Only people that had sunglasses were the ones that had a prescription. I never understood why generals and dignitaries would come to this stupid camp and just pin medals on you. I guarantee you I didn't do anything for this medal. I shook his hand to myself thinking, why aren't you pinning some medals on people that didn't make it home? We had a lot of great guys in our unit. I wish I had pictures of everybody, but I must have lost everything throughout the years. We did know how to party hard.
Basically, Dennis would take us to training, tell us to go down those cliffs. Then we'd just start partying that night. Drank a lot of beer in those days. And then other guys would join in the party. And it would seem to go on till 3 in the morning. And then we'd just backtrack and just seem to do the whole thing over again the next day.
I was flown over on the same airplane that didn't make it back. I can't speak for the other guys that I served with, but I will always believe that this was just a floating beer can. I remember leaving in the middle of the night, and some of the guys joking on the plane that if we don't get up off this runway soon, we're going to crash right into the mountains. And I just laughed at it, but in the end, they weren't joking. We didn't have any running water on the plane, and I had a constant headache. I think it was at least a 10 to 12 hour ride. Amongst other things, we did load it up with a lot of stuff, but in the end, there's so many conspiracy theories. I don't know what's true and what's not. I could just tell you that this was an old plane from 1969. It was definitely bought from another airline, and there was nothing good about it. Nothing. Again, I can't speak for anyone else.